Imagine doing your crash out civic duty, reporting to your parole officer for a check-in, just to get boomed while walking out of the building.
New developments in the fatal shooting outside of a parole office in Mott Haven.
The beef in the Bronx spares nobody. We've seen stars like Lil TJ almost get gunned down while trying to cop a Chipotle bowl. So it's a reality that nobody is safe. This time around, it seems like the latest victim of a broad day shooting in the BX was an infamous rapper and gang member named Suave Drilly. The man responsible for trolling the ops like it was a 9 to 5 and being a straight menace, going viral back in the day for dragging him like a damn suitcase and pulling the craziest chain snatching known to man. Now it seems like the tables have turned, with Lil TJ getting a new chain, trolling the ops the same day that Suave Drilly was killed. Suave lived a crazy life full of beefs, internet dissing, and reckless behavior. So today we gotta get into the wild beef that ended this dude on a Sunday afternoon right now. But before we do, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna run to this video, man. Make sure you hit that notification bell so whenever I post, y'all tune the fuck in, man. Hit that link in the description for the merch and run this video up, man. Let's get into this with chapter 1. The streets of the Bronx is crazy. This is the only place where you could be a world-renowned crash out known for beefing with some of the biggest rappers in your city, but you aren't even able to fully get out of the streets and become the only one who's actually a victim. In order to understand how Brock got walked down outside of a police office, you gotta understand the crazy beef in the Bronx between one of the most hated gangs in the city. Suave Drilly wasn't just a normal pedestrian making his midday errands. He was a known gang member of a notorious set called 9-4 Drilly. Drilly, aka G-Side, originally started in the Gun Hill Road area, a loose collective of blood-based gangs like Sex Money, Murder, Jet, and Trendy. They have beef with mad groups. Some of their ops are some of the biggest New York drill artists that have ever rapped. They have crazy beef with Sevside, aka DOA, the gang where infamous drill rapper K-Flock is from. Being from the Gun Hill section of the Bronx, there was pretty much no opportunities for members of the Drillies besides trapping, gangbanging, and rapping. Suave Drilly would credit his homie Spaz Drilly as being the first person around him to inspire him to rap, but they wouldn't catch motion for a number of years later. Pretty much the New York scene back at that time was dead until drill started catching major waves after Pop Smoke basically blew up in Brooklyn. However, that was really centered around Brooklyn drill. Unfortunately, Pop Smoke would die in 2020, which would leave a gaping hole in the scene with pretty much no one really going anywhere. That was until later, a year or so after, when Bronx drill would start catching major motion with artists like B-Love, K-Flock, and Ice Spice shining a light on the Bronx, which also shined a light on the Drillies and got them a lot of motion for the time. Suave Drilly would see his first motion with Spaz Drilly when their song Op Spotter would go viral back when the first Bronx drill started going crazy. Unfortunately for them and pretty much all the street drill artists in the New York scene, they can't leave the street shit behind, and it eventually catches up to him. That's why there's so many crazy videos of Suave Drilly pretty much crashing out. From him actually fighting K-Flock in the street in recorded video.
So like basically like, I mean niggas know what's going on. Like I seen Flock about like 3 times. I ain't gonna cap. I seen him like 3 times.
Yeah.
The first 2 times I was with bro and them, feel me?
Yeah.
He fake got low on us. He got low on us. I ain't gonna cap. He got low on us. Yeah. The 3rd time I was by myself. This was like I wanna say like 2019. 2019? Yeah, I think it was like 2019, Halloween. For me, I ended up, you know, young and dumb, I ended up going over there on some like board shit, for me.
Yeah, to the side?
Yeah, I ended up,
okay.
I was already like on Webster and shit, Fordham and Webster at the bus stop, dropping somebody off. Then I'm like, might as well just, like these niggas been talking shit all week for me.
Yeah.
Let me see who I see out here.
Yeah.
And it's early, it's fake early. It's like 8 in the morning. For me, I'm just dropping somebody off and then I just end up going. I'm like, fuck it, let me see who's out here. So I ended up going in a couple stores and shit. There's nobody in the deli. You know, regular shit, regular New York City shit, go in the store real quick. I comes out, I'm fake. You know, like back then, like niggas was heavy on the like, fake out of like fake gotta like record real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm fake recording. I'm like, this shit dry. I see somebody walking down the block. So I'm like, damn, I end the video. I put my phone in my pocket and shit. So I got the hoodie on. I see it's a girl and a boy. So I'm like, damn, it's a girl and a boy. So I'm walking. I get close. I see it's him.
On top of him literally snatching Lil TJ's chain in a now viral incident back when TJ was caught lacking. While the crash out activity gave him notoriety in the streets and gave him clout for rap, it also was the beginning of his downfall. You see, all this crazy behavior put them on the Fed's radar, and this caused a major gang indictment for the Drillies back in 2022.
Gang takedown leaves 20 accused members behind bars. Bronx prosecutors and police say that they are linked to more than 30 acts of violence, and tonight they say the streets of the borough are a bit safer because they are off of them. News 12's Noel Lilly has the details.
Right now, our beloved Bronx is just a bit safer.
18 guns are off the streets and 20 people are now facing charges in the aftermath of the NYPD's Operation Drilly investigation.
These are the trigger pullers, the very few individuals that make it uncomfortable and downright dangerous for all the great people in our community.
This 10-month operation looked into crime in the neighborhoods of Fordham and Bedford Park dating back to 2018. The defendants are believed to be members of the G-Side Drilly gang. They're accused of 32 acts of violence that took the lives of 2 New Yorkers and sent 6 others to the hospital, including a shooting in broad daylight at a barber shop on Gun Hill Road last October.
This gang conducted wolf pack-like searches throughout the investigation. What are they looking for? They're hunting opposing gang members.
But officials say innocent bystanders are often caught in the crossfire.
We've also seen shots fired outside of schools during dismissal, with young individuals 10 or under with backpacks running for cover.
Which resulted in Suave Drilly getting over 4 years. Keep in mind, this dude had a whole daughter too and was forced to be away from his daughter and family for an extended period of time. Crazy thing is, it was his decision to do all this crazy street shit that would end up getting him locked up, and once he was released on parole, which directly led to him getting gunned down just 2 days ago, which we're gonna get into in the next chapter. So let's get into this.
Story out of the Bronx, where a search is now on for a gunman who shot and killed a man just moments after he left a meeting with his parole officer. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Neidinger live on the scene in Mott Haven tonight. Josh?
And Mike, the NYPD crime scene unit will be working well into the night, gathering evidence here on the scene of this apparent execution of a 27-year-old man in the late afternoon. Detectives now trying to figure out why. With the scene tonight under control, the work of the crime scene unit seemed eerily calm compared to the chaos here hours earlier. In radio transmissions, a panicked parole officer was fighting back crowds on the street as she frantically called for an ambulance after a shooting, and a police dispatcher struggled to make sense of it all.
People were getting close, and they were like, back up, with their guns out.
It all unfolded right in front of Clarissa Aliedo after the shooting of a 27-year-old man while he left a scheduled meeting with his parole officer at a state parole office here in Mott Haven. Minutes earlier, she'd already called police when she saw a group of men approaching the office and just knew something wasn't right.
I saw masks, ski mask, coverings. And I heard like, move, yo. When you hear that, you know the activity, you know what's going to happen.
Cops say the men made a beeline for the parolee, shooting him multiple times. He died at the hospital. It happened in the middle of the recently gentrified Mott Haven section of the South Bronx, where neighbors say the parole office has been a magnet for crime.
We've been talking with the state about getting the parole. They have a 10-year lease here, about getting this parole office relocated. People know when a releasee is going to see their parole officer, right? And that's the time that they try to maximize and attack.
This is another reason why New York City is different, because where else in the world Do you know that people are tracking when their ops are going to go see their parole officers and apparently booming them right after they leave? It all started around 5:50 p.m. on 79 Alexander Ave in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Apparently around 5 o'clock, John Martinez, aka Suave Drilly, would be reportedly going to a scheduled parole meeting with his parole officer. However, things didn't go as planned because right when he finished, bystanders reported a group of 4 men running through the crowd, masked up, swarming Martinez and shooting him multiple times in the stomach before leaving the scene. Honestly, man, this is a crazy situation because they said that this isn't the first time that things have gone down with this parole office, and many of the people within the community are actually hoping that the lease ends early for this parole office because people are routinely boomed, because people will somehow track when these people are going to see their parole officer, and it's just like a assembly line of crash outs, pretty much just taking people out. Regardless, it's obvious that this dude was a complete crash out, man. Like, you're 27 years old with a kid and you still making drill songs. He got out of jail after 4 years and went straight back to drilling because there's videos of him recently kicking his ops and filming it and pretty much going about his everyday New York activity. But it's not 2020 anymore. It's not 2022 anymore. It's literally 2025. At this point, anyone left in the drill scene has either much crashed out and been in jail like K-Flock, or in and out of jail like D-Thang, or pretty much been dead. So at this point, it just seems like this is just the natural cycle of what goes on in the Bronx drill scene, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this crazy situation. Real say shit. You already know what's going on, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.